Greetings, sire. The desert awaits you.
Alrighty. The desert awaits. We're on our way. Back in the Saladin's Conquest campaign, which focuses more on the Arabian troops that you can recruit in this game. Actually the newest edition, I guess, coming from Stronghold 1. That it wasn't just focusing on European medieval forces and troops, but also including the Arabian ones. And yeah, we're gonna continue here with the second mission. Kerak, Reynald's Treachery.
Reynald of Kerak plunders rich Arab merchantmen in the shipping lanes of the Red Sea, thereby breaking the Europeans' truce. Saladin responds by laying siege to his castle.
Reynald is hosting a wedding party in his castle's keep. Lay siege to the castle and tear down the cathedral to show our intent. There's no time to capture the city, as reinforcements from Jerusalem are already on their way. Instead, teach him a lesson by bringing down the cathedral in the eastern part of Kerak. Game paused. Game running.
هدفنا نحن على استعداد. الشفرة حادة.
نحييك.
نعم. سنقوم
نقف على استعداد.
ملاك الانتقام. المسيرة الطويلة. المسيرة الطويلة.
مولاي. أمرك يا مولاي. إلى الأمام.
بالتأكيد. هيا بدون مشكلة.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
مستعدون للتحرير كالريح. هدفنا
أمرك.
حالا.
نحييك.
نحن على استعداد. لن تسمع شيئا.
نقف على استعداد.
أين الحركة؟ يا لها من مشية، يا لها من مشية. يا لها من مشية. رهانك؟ حجارتي حادة. نحن ذاهبون. ارجموهم.
مولاي.
نعم، اقتلوهم. أين النسر؟ سنقوم بذلك.
أمرك يا مولاي.
بالتأكيد. مستعدون للتحدث.
أعيش في خدمتكم. للشجاعة، للمجد، إلى الأمام.
هدفنا مستحيل.
أمرك. للشجاعة.
نحن على استعداد. حالا. هيا بدون مشكلة. أين الحركة الشرطة الحادة؟ مهمة سهلة.
نقف على استعداد.
روحي تتعطش. ملاك الانتقام. نحن مستعدون للتحديد. الأفقار تتحرك. هدفنا كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقار تتحرك. نحن على استعداد.
مولاي.
ما هو رهانك؟ نحن ذاهبون. نعم. هيا.
أمرك يا مولاي.
الشفرة حادة. سنقوم بذلك.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
روحي متعطشة كالريح.
أمرك. للمجد. إلى الأمام. نحييك. للشجاعة، للمجد.
بالتأكيد. حالا بدون مشكلة.
نقف على استعداد.
نحن ذاهبون.
Scouts report a large force of the infidel marching towards us. مولاي.
ما هو رهانك؟
أمرك يا مولاي.
نحن مستعدون للتحليل. نعم، سنقوم بذلك بالتأكيد، حالا بدون مشكلة. أين الحركة؟ نحن ذاهبون، هيا. ما هو رهانك؟ نعم بدون مشكلة. حجارتي حادة.
The infidels are attacking.
سنقوم بذلك، نحن ذاهبون.
أمرك.
بالتأكيد، هيا.
Oh, I just realized I was muted the entire time. I was just
Game paused.
saying how that is way too many fucking knights. So just about destroying the cathedral, isn't it? Like I could just like send all of these guys in here, try to destroy the cathedral.
Game running.
حالا
I could maybe still do this.
نحن ذاهبون.
But the thing is, with only these stingers, it would be almost impossible to destroy like an entire building. Ah yeah, so you don't even have a chance to win this? Once the timer goes off, basically. Because I was under the impression that it was
Reynald is hosting a wedding party in his castle's keep. Lay siege
that
to
it's
the
like
castle
about
and tear
defending
down
the castle
cathedral to
rather
show our
than...
intent. There's no time to capture the city, as reinforcements from Jerusalem are already on their way. Instead, teach him a lesson by bringing down the cathedral in the eastern part of Kerak.
I thought it was like about destroying the cathedral and then also defending yourself from the attack. I guess not. I just wasted way too much time there. At the start, I guess.
أين الحركة؟
نحييك.
هدفنا، نحن على استعداد.
نقف على استعداد.
ما هو رهانك؟ روحي متعبة.
مولاي، هذا الدرع ثقيل.
نعم، ملاك الانتقام. مستحيل، سنقوم بذلك. هيا بدون مشكلة.
I'm just gonna rush it this time.
نحن مستعدون.
Not gonna waste too much time, yeah.
مستحيل. هدفنا مستحيل.
أمرك يا مولاي.
بالتأكيد.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
الشفرة حادة. مستحيل، مستحيل.
أمرك.
روحي متعطشة. ملاك الانتقام. لن تسمع شيئا. نحن مستعدون. هدفنا مستحيل.
نحييك. إلى الأمام.
نحن على استعداد. الشفرة مستحيل.
نقف على استعداد.
حالا. روحي متعطشة.
مولاي، للشجاعة.
أين الحركة؟
أمرك يا مولاي. ليهجم المبارزون.
Okay, these guys are just gonna storm the cathedral now.
ما هو رهانك؟ نحن ذاهبون.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
نعم. هيا بدون مشكلة، نحن ذاهبون. هيا بدون مشكلة، نحن ذاهبون. هيا بدون مشكلة. سنقوم بذلك. ارجموهم بالتأكيد، اقتلوهم.
Okay, I think this time we're good. There we go. Okay, that is much easier. I really thought it was just about like the cathedral being destroyed being like one of the extra objective, not the sole objective. But that makes it a lot easier. I basically just finished a mission in like 4 minutes or so. This time. Alright, and then we have Aleppo. And this mission will be taking place in the year 1190. So that's 1 year before the start of AC1. Just gonna quickly change the year in the title here. Osolova Ogoki, welcome in. Approaching the 13th century almost. Aleppo, Consolidation of Power.
After successfully bruising Reynald's pride, Saladin leaves Kerak, marching north to Aleppo as reinforcements pour in from Jerusalem to rescue the wedding guests. The city of Aleppo has thus far resisted Saladin's rule with help from European troops from Antioch.
Bring Aleppo to its knees using the slave army supplied by the local emir. The city is heavily fortified, and you will have to plan carefully to fight your way through its 2 gates. Game paused.
Lots of assaults right now here. Oh yeah, there's lots of knights here in the streets. It's all about killing the lord here. Well, we could technically storm the wards here, take over that side. The thing is, as long as you can get inside the castle, maybe here over there on this weak side, we could like try to send some of these houses aflame, and once the entire city burns, all of the knights are gonna just die. And it doesn't even need many slaves to do this. Just a few are enough already.
Game running.
أؤمرنا. أمرك. ما هو رهانك؟ أؤمرنا. ما هو رهانك؟
نحن مستعدون للتحالف. الأفقى تتحرك.
نحييك للمجد.
حالا نحن ذاهبون.
Let's move from all here to the east side.
هيا هدفنا كالريح. لن تسمع
نقف
شيء.
على أؤمرنا. مولاي.
نحن على استعداد. مستحيل. ما هو رهانك؟ بدون مشكلة، نحن ذاهبون. هيا.
أمرك يا مولاي.
نعم، الشفرة حادة. بسهولة.
good enough.
مستحيل.
Just gonna get these guys back here.
مستحيل.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
Then these guys are gonna break up a war here. So the slaves can go through.
أمرك. نحييك. نقف على استعداد. مولاي.
Don't actually need that many.
أمرك يا مولاي. أعيش في خدمتكم.
Just a few here.
سنقوم بذلك. نحن مستعدون للتحرير. الأفقى تتحرك.
أمرك. نحييك.
Ah, wait, you gotta be kidding me.
نقف على استعداد.
It's like built on a mountain top. So you can't actually go in there. Well, that work just perfectly did it. Oh, I'll be damned.
هدفنا نحن على استعداد.
Okay, plan B.
الشفرة حادة كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقى تتحرك كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقى تتحرك كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقى تتحرك. كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقى تتحرك.
Okay, got rid of the
روحي
archers here.
مستحيل.
I just gotta open up a pathway here.
ما هو رهانك؟
Gonna send a couple of slaves inside.
مولاي. أؤمرنا. بالتأكيد.
ملاك الانتقام. لن تسمع شيئا.
أمرك يا مولاي. ما هو رهانك؟ نتحرك. نعم أيها الحكيم.
Fucking hell. Didn't make it.
أؤمرنا.
Let's send a couple more here.
نحن مستعدون للتحرير. الأفقى تتحرك كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. الأفقى تتحرك. هدفنا
ما هو رهانك؟ بالتأكيد. بالتأكيد.
نحن على استعداد. بالتأكيد بدون مشكلة. نحن ذاهبون.
أعيش في خدمتكم. أمرك.
so funny messing with these guys.
أؤمرنا نتحرك بالتأكيد. ما هو رهانك؟ أؤمرنا.
حالا.
للشجاعة. ما هو رهانك؟ بالتأكيد.
روحي مستحيلة.
أؤمرنا. ما هو رهانك؟
ملاك الانتقام مستحيل.
أؤمرنا. ما هو رهانك؟ أؤمرنا.
نحن مستعدون.
Okay,
ما هو رهانك؟
now open the gate.
أؤمرنا. ما هو رهانك؟ أؤمرنا. ما هو رهانك؟ بالتأكيد.
Okay, watch it burn now.
أؤمرنا. نتحرك. بالتأكيد. بالتأكيد. نحييك. هذا الدرع ثقيل. ما هو رهانك؟ نقف على استعداد.
لن تسمع شيئا.
أؤمرنا.
نحن على استعداد. الأفقار تتحرك.
مولاي للمجد.
Okay, that's most of the knights taken care of here.
الشفرة هذا كالريح. أين الحركة؟ روحي متعطشة. لن تسمع شيئا.
أمرك يا مولاي.
ما هو رهانك؟ نعم. ملاك الانتقام. نحن مستعدون للتحديد. مستحيل.
أعيش في خدمتك.
سنقوم بذلك.
أمرك.
بالتأكيد نحن على استعداد. مستحيل. مستحيل. الأفقار تتحرك. الشفرة حادة كالريح. لن تسمع شيئا. مستحيل. حالا.
ما هو رهانك؟ نقف على استعداد.
أين الحركة؟ روحي مستحيل. مستحيل.
مولاي.
ما هو رهانك؟ ملاك الانتقام. الأفكار تتحرك. نعم. هيا. سنقوم بذلك بدون مشكلة. نحن ذاهبون.
أمرك يا مولاي.
نحن مستعدون للنهب. صلي له.
أعيش في خدمتكم.
Yeah, no worries, Oliver. If you gotta look, that's no worries whatsoever.
إلى الأمام.
Hope you enjoy. It's really cool how we use the assassins so actively here in both sieges. We did it. Oh yeah. Alright, and that finishes Aleppo, set in 1190, which means, of course, that the next mission, or game entirely, will be set in 1191, which will be Assassin's Creed 1, of course. And the next mission in Stronghold Crusader will be in 1200, so there's gonna be another 10 years between now and, yeah, the next mission. But that also means we have 2 entire games set in between here, with AC1 and Bloodlines. So it's gonna take us at least a couple of streams to get to the next Stronghold mission here. Just gonna skip the briefing. And yeah, that means it's gonna be all for Stronghold for now. Rod, you decided to get Game Pass again just to play the new Indiana Jones game. It comes later today here, but you weren't sure about the game, so playing it on Game Pass is good. It's $20-22.95 for one-off, but the game is $110 to buy, so in that sense you're saving heaps, definitely. Especially if you don't plan on like replaying it anytime too soon. But the Game Pass is pretty good for just like testing out, you know, if you actually enjoy a game or not. But yeah, the Indiana Jones game has gotten some really good reviews, like people seem to really enjoy it. So I really hope that, you know, you're gonna share that sentiment and that you're gonna have a great time playing it. Would be great to get like a really good contemporary, you know, Indiana Jones game, because it definitely isn't like the most popular franchise to adapt nowadays into games, it seems. Even though, of course, like games or like franchises inspired by Indiana Jones are definitely, you know, quite popular. So I really hope that it becomes successful and fun to play. So maybe there's gonna be more. Oh yeah, finally some familiar territory. Yeah, gonna be some AC again, for a little bit at least. So the mission I did was in 1190, that's right, yeah. Yeah, the Consolidation of Power in Aleppo, it's in 1190. And then the next mission here, the Horns of Hattin, is gonna be 10 years later in 1200.
A brief history of time.
Also, thank you for redeeming history time. Game's got really good ratings on Xbox. Yeah. Yeah, also like by major reviewers. It seems like really most people have been having a great time with it so far. But that's true, it comes out on PS5 at a later date, so if you do enjoy the game, you get the PS5 version down the line. That's definitely fair too, you know, especially with PS5, you know that the issues you might be having, you know, will be not as severe as on Xbox most of the time. So it's probably the better version to stick with if you wanna, you know, end up playing it multiple times. These are some of the outfits you can unlock too, and you were like, that's awesome. Hell yeah. It's nice to have a good amount of variety in like customization, outfits and stuff. Really make them look the way you want them to. But does it have Ezio's robes? Yeah, maybe with mods on PC. Would be cool to see. Indiana Jones da Firenze. Alright. Alrighty, well, let us switch over here to the Historical Research Center. But yeah, so we now finished 1174. We finished the Ransom in 1180. Kerak, Reynald's Treachery in 1185 and Aleppo in 1190. Which now of course means 1191 and 92-3 will be Assassin's Creed 1 and Bloodlines. And yeah, it's pretty cool because it really fits in quite well with the backstory we know about from AC1 in the Secret Crusade book, where Altair kind of talks about his childhood and how his parent, like how his father died, I think, which was during the siege of Saladin against Masyaf. And there's like a bit of a mention here in this part about the Second Crusade. Let me see. Well, for one, they mention the Knights Templar here. And at some point we also mentioned the first kind of like attempts on Saladin's life by the assassins. Ah yeah, here we do. So we could read up a bit here on the Second Crusade, you know, there's like lots of important background infos and the assassins get mentioned left and right really. So it's gonna give us a bit more insight into the influence, the targets as well. Let me zoom in a bit as well so you guys can see it a bit better. Assassins! Lara Croft mod for Indiana Jones, imagine. Oh Jesus. With like tight short pants. That would be a sight to behold. That's cool, including Bloodlines. Always good to see that game streamed in case it gets more people interested in playing it too. Absolutely. It might be a bit rough to get into with, you know, the controls, especially with like moving the camera and stuff, but it is, you know, not designed for like major consoles and a different kind of controller. And I mean, for me, really, the strength of that game is certainly the story, you know. Getting more info about Altair and how he understands the creed, and then, of course, his relation to Maria. Now, it might be a bit more of a maybe lore-focused game, but I still wanted to include it because, yeah, it covers more time, I guess. And it's been also a while since I last played it, and we're gonna be able to see some new places we haven't been to yet in Assassin's Creed. So I wanna carry on with that for sure. But it's definitely been a while since I last played the game. This new Indiana Jones game is set in 1937, which replaces between the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, which took place in 1936, and Last Crusade, which is 38. Interesting. I mean, it's good, I guess, if it didn't, you know, took a year that's already represented in a movie. That way it's kind of like a bit out of the way, and you could still connect it well in between, you know. Could make some good references to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Even with the Joy to Key program, you sometimes use the camera's frustrating using the right control stick. Yeah, so I had it so was on the left and right bumper. But yeah, it was quite awkward to control. Maybe I have to look into setting that up better if I can. Would be good to have it on the control stick, but would probably be quite wonky. Temple of Doom was the second movie, but it's a prequel in 1935. Ah, I gotcha. It's been a while since I saw those earlier Indiana Jones movies. But yeah, I do look forward to the game though. I wouldn't actually mind playing it myself at some point. It does look quite fun. Alrighty, let's do a bit of read up here. The Second Crusade. The fall of Edessa caused great consternation in Jerusalem and Western Europe, tempering the enthusiastic success of the First Crusade. Calls for a new crusade, the Second Crusade, were immediate, and was the first to be led by European kings. Concurrent campaigns as part of the Reconquista and the Northern Crusades are also sometimes associated with this crusade. The aftermath of the crusade saw the Muslim world united around Saladin, leading to the fall of Jerusalem. Eugene III, recently elected Pope, issued the bull Quantum Predecessors in December 1145, calling for a new crusade, one that would be more organized and centrally controlled than the first. The armies would be led by the strongest kings of Europe in a route that would be pre-planned. The Pope called on Bernard of Clairvaux to preach the Second Crusade, granting the same indulgences which had been accorded to the First Crusaders. Among those answering the call were two European kings, Louis VII of France and Conrad III of Germany. Louis, his wife Eleanor of Aquitaine, and many princes and lords prostrated themselves at the feet of Bernard in order to take the cross. Conrad and his nephew Frederick Barbarossa also received the cross from the hand of Bernard. Conrad III and the German contingent planned to leave for the Holy Land at Easter, but did not depart until May 1147. While the German army began to cross Byzantine territory, Emperor Manuel I had his troops posted to ensure against trouble. A brief battle of Constantinople in September ensued, and their defeat at the Emperor's hand convinced the Germans to move quickly to Asia Minor. Without waiting for the French contingent, Conrad III engaged the Seljuks of Rum under Sultan Mesud I, son and successor of Kilish Arslan, the nemesis of the First Crusade. Mesud and his forces almost totally destroyed Conrad's contingent at the Second Battle of Dorylaeum on the 25th of October 1147. Hello there, Sadie, welcome in. And happy weekend. Hope you've been having a nice second advent so far. Right, we've had one crusade, yes, but what about Second Crusade? And what about lunchies? And afternoonies? And midnight snacks? What about the Midnight Crusade? And thank you, Sadie, I've been well. Been having a nice chill weekend over here. We're just currently reading up on some history on the Crusades here. After we played some Stronghold. It's been alright, watch the F1 and have not done much else. It's good to have those days sometimes, you know? We can just like chillax, take it easy, watch the game or whatever, the race. It's kind of funny, you're the third person today to mention that you've watched F1. I thought it was a major event today, wasn't it? Like a major tournament? The French contingent departed in June 1147. In the meantime, Roger II of Sicily, an enemy of Conrad's, had invaded Byzantine territory. Many of the first needed all his army to counter this force, and unlike the armies of the First Crusade, the Germans and French entered Asia with no Byzantine assistance. The French met the remnants of Conrad's army in northern Turkey, and Conrad joined Louis' force. They fended off a Seljuk attack at the Battle of Ephesus on the 24th of December 1147. A few days later, they were again victorious at the Battle of Emenda. Louis was not as lucky at the Battle of Mount Cadmus in January 1148, when the army of Mesut inflicted heavy losses on the Crusaders. Shortly thereafter, they sailed for Antioch, almost totally destroyed by battles and sickness. The Crusader army arrived at Antioch in March 1148 with the intent on moving to retake Edessa, but Baldwin III of Jerusalem and the Knights Templar had other ideas. The Council of Acre was held in June 1148, changing the objective of a second crusade to Damascus, a former ally of the kingdom that had shifted its allegiance to that of the Zengids. The Crusaders fought the Battle of Bosra with the Damascenes in the summer of 1147, with no clear winner. Bad luck and poor tactics of the Crusaders led to the disastrous 5-day siege of Damascus from the 24th to 28th July of 1148. The barons of Jerusalem withdrew support and the Crusaders retreated before the arrival of a relief army led by Nur ad-Din. Morale fell, hostility to the Byzantines grew, and distrust developed between the newly arrived Crusaders and those that had made the region their home after the earlier Crusades. The French and the German forces felt betrayed by the other, lingering for a generation due to the defeat, to the ruin of the Christian kingdoms in the Holy Land. In the spring of 1147, Eugene III authorized the expansion of his mission into the Iberian Peninsula, equating these campaigns against the Moors with the rest of the Second Crusade. The successful siege of Lisbon from July to October 1147 was followed by a 6-month siege of Tortosa, ending in December 1148 with a defeat for the Moors. In the north, some Germans were reluctant to fight in the Holy Land, while the pagans' Wends were a more immediate problem. The resulting Wendish Crusade of 1147 was partially successful, but failed to convert the pagans to Christianity. The disastrous performance of this campaign in the Holy Land damaged the standing of the papacy, soured relations between the Christians of the kingdom and the West for many years, and encouraged the Muslims of Syria to even greater efforts to defeat the Franks. The dismal failures of this crusade then set the stage for the fall of Jerusalem, leading to the Third Crusade. They said it's a crusade. A crusade for what? Ignorance? Violence? Madness? Can't wait to hear that again, left and right. The final Grand Prix of the year, it was good. Hell yeah, that's great to hear, Sadie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. The start was hectic, not gonna lie. Oh yeah. Did people like crash directly at the start or something? Templars? Yeah, Templars and Assassins. It was the most exciting part of the race after the end. Fair enough. Off to a good start, I guess. Those pesky pagans just never wanna convert to Christianity. But damn, must have been Vikings or something. In the first major encounter after the Second Crusade, Nur ad-Din's forces then destroyed the Crusader army at the Battle of Enab in June 1149. Reynald of Poitiers, as Prince of Antioch, came to the aid of the besieged city. Reynald was killed and his head was presented to Nur ad-Din, who forwarded it to the Caliph al-Muqtafi in Baghdad. In 1150, Nur ad-Din defeated Juscelin II of Edessa for a final time, resulting in Jerusalem being publicly blinded and dying in prison in Aleppo in 1159. Later that year, at the Battle of Aintab, he tried but failed to prevent Baldwin III's evacuation of the residents of Tebessel. The unconquered portions of the county of Edessa would nevertheless fall to the Zengids within a few years. In 1152, Raymond II of Tripoli became the first Frankish victim of the assassins. Later that year, Nur-ad-Din captured and burned Tortosa, briefly occupying the town before it was taken by the Knights Templar as a military headquarters. After the siege of Ascalon ended in August 1153 with a Crusader victory, Damascus was taken by Nur-ad-Din the next year, uniting all of Syria under Zengid rule. In 1156, Baldwin III was forced into a treaty with Nur-ad-Din and later entered into an alliance with the Byzantine Empire. On May 1157, Nur-ad-Din began a siege on the Knights Hospitaller contingent at Banias, with the Grand Master Bertrand de Blanquefort captured. Baldwin III was able to break the siege only to be ambushed at Jacob's Ford in June. Reinforcements from Antioch and Tripoli were able to relieve the besieged Crusaders, but they were defeated again that month at the Battle of Lake Huli. In July 1158, the Crusaders were victorious at the Battle of Butaya, and Bertrand's captivity lasted until 1159, when Emperor Mani I negotiated an alliance with Nur-ad-Din against the Seljuks. Baldwin III died in February 1163, and Almeric of Jerusalem was crowned as King of Jerusalem 8 days later. Later that year, he defeated the Zengids at the Battle of Al-Bukaya. Almeric then undertook a series of 4 invasions of Egypt from 1163 to 69, taking advantage of weaknesses of the Fatimids. Nur-ad-Din's intervention in the first invasion allowed his general Sheku, accompanied by his nephew Saladin, to enter Egypt. Shavar, the deposed vizier to the Fatimid Caliph Al-Adid, allied with Almeric I, attacking Sheku at the second siege of Bilbay, beginning in August 1164, following Almeric's unsuccessful first siege in 1163. This action left the Holy Land lacking in defenses, and Nur-ad-Din defeated a Crusader force at the Battle of Harim in August 1164, capturing most of the Franks' leaders. After the sacking of Bilbay, the Crusaders' Fatimid force was to meet Sheku's army in the indecisive Battle of Al-Babain on March 1167. In 1169, both Shavar and Sheku died, and Al-Adid appointed Saladin as a vizier. Saladin, with reinforcements from Nur-ad-Din, defeated a massive Crusader Byzantine force at the siege of Damietta in late October. This gained Saladin the attention of the assassins, with attempts on his life in January 1175 and again in May 1176. Baldwin IV of Jerusalem became king in July 1174 at the age of 13. As a leper, he was not expected to live long and served with a number of regions and served as a co-ruler with his nephew Baldwin V of Jerusalem beginning in 1183. This is actually the time that the Kingdom of Heaven takes place. If you guys have ever seen that movie, it also showcases the Leper King. It's this guy. It's the reason he's actually having a mask, because his whole face is like disfigured, pretty much. And in the movie, Saladin actually pays him respect and even sends his best doctors to help him. Kinda like feel better, I guess. With the man himself, Legolas, in the leading role. But yeah, that's basically the time he had talked about right now. With Baldwin. A lot of these words have a nice ring to them. I try my best to pronounce them correctly. I probably butcher some of them, but I agree. I do like them. I really like the Arabian language in general, I have to say. A lot. Just like the ring and tone of it. You haven't seen it for ages. It was a really good movie. I really liked it. I especially liked the early scene when they're still in England, I think it is. And you know, his father's recruiting him, or like trying to recruit him. And then the battle happens in the woods where they're getting like ambushed by crossbowmen. Just like a super chaotic moment, and many die unfortunately, but it feels very realistic in a way, you know. And it was also cool seeing like the cast of the people that supported his father. They all had like very distinctive like styles of fighting. Awesome movie. Yeah, this was one of the movies at the time. Like, this came out in 2005, right? And then I played like Stronghold 1 and Crusader around the same time, pretty much, like shortly before. But yeah, this movie and those games were like definitely the main reason I was even interested in Assassin's Creed 1 in the first place. But yeah, I really like this setting of the Crusades, I have to say. What I also like in this movie is how the main character tries to learn from both the Crusaders and the Muslims. It's kind of like taking lessons from either side, and that's what makes him like a really strong leader, because he ultimately ends up understanding, you know, the way of the enemy. And that's why even though he's being defeated, he manages to come out alive and save many people in the process. But yeah, good movie. Definitely liked it a lot. That's a verse, Rod. Thank you again for redeeming history time. I kind of looked this up beforehand and figured this would be an interesting time to read out, especially given, you know, how often the Assassins and the Knights Templars are being mentioned here. It's definitely a good historical setup here for, you know, the next project in the Historic Order run with AC1 and Bloodlines. But yeah, I won't be starting with the Devo anymore. I just wanted to get everything done for Stronghold, so we can, in the next stream, really get, you know, AC1 started with enough time. And yeah, I've also decided what I want to be doing with AC1, but it's gonna be a surprise. So I won't be seeing and knowing it until I've actually streamed the game. But yeah, it's certainly something that aligns well with the history of the Assassins. That much I can say. Men didn't lose the battle only after his death. I didn't know that actually. But that is indeed quite impressive. Makes you wonder how long he actually lived. I mean, he got to be 24. Considering he was king at 13. That's not too bad actually. And I mean, he was of course suffering from, you know, being a leper. Humphrey is like the most medieval name ever. Oh, look at this. William of Montferrat. One of the targets in Assassin's Creed 1. No worries for the stream, Ivorot. Thank you again so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining today on this like more spontaneous, you know, shorter session again. He didn't live long with that leprosy. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned in the article, they didn't really expect him to live long. Considering he had, leprosy, he lived longer than people expected, really. But yeah, that's gonna be everything I will be doing for today, and everything I will be covering as well for history time here. Thanks again for redeeming that rod. It was good to take some time here and dive into some of it. So yeah, next time we will be starting AC1. And
they move not, they stir not, be it done for them as for Osiris. I am Osiris.
I am Osiris. But yeah, now it's time to stay and become motionless, just like Osiris.
Venetial Grim Doge, a fierce and evil man, was just a trifle red of face when I upset his plan.
Beautiful. Catch you next time, Dr. Darling. Thank you for being here, dude. We have a good rest of your day and evening. Catch you next time, Oliver. Thank you also so much for being here, dude. Thanks again for the lurks too, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Alright.
Where are you, Charles?
Got a couple people online here today. Schiller's doing some GTA 5. Got Lucinda playing some Resident Evil. Carbon is doing some engineering. Well, he's like coding and stuff. Alright, we're gonna go and say hi to Carbon. I'm interested in seeing what he's working on. But yeah, Carbon is a great dude from Italy. He's also been living in Germany for a while, actually. So he speaks a bit of Italian and German, but also English, of course. So it's like a multi-language stream. He's also like doing coding and work-along streams, but he's also streaming Assassin's Creed. He's been recently doing some Rogue and AC Unity, and also is planning on playing the newer games, some of which he hasn't played yet. And also very interested in history, so yeah, great guy to check out if you haven't yet before. If you want to join us with a raid, there's some raid emotes in chat. Feel free to copy and paste them. Thank you for posting them in chat, Verrod. Assassino time, indeed, next time with the OG AC game. I'm also gonna be using the parkour mod next time. Oh, I kinda accidentally gave a shout out to Oliver. Don't even know if you ever streamed before. But you also check out Rod if you haven't yet. And I will check you guys out. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Jesus, what am I saying? Brain draw blank there. But yeah, catch you guys next time. Take care. Have a good weekend.